All right, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, brothers and sisters all over the world. Kakas and dadas and dadas and kakas. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, all over the world. And yes, I'm talking to each and every one of you. The name of this channel is The African Times, and I'm Thomas. Okay, anybody who's new, I'm here in Africa, and I'm giving you a perspective on what it's like to live in Africa, but we also talk about world events or events that take place in the world that affect people like me and you, people who look like me and you, and how those events affect our lives, the lives of our children, the lives of our children's children, and our unborn children. Okay, so look, I'm gonna jump right in. I'm talking to you right now about moving to Africa and freedom, and more particularly, freedom of speech. Do you have freedom of speech in Africa? Do you have it? You know, America talks great about it. By the way, for those of you who don't know, I'm from America. Look, by the way, y'all, it's late at night. And it's late at night. Look, you see what I got on? I got on coat. It's cold. Which it hasn't been cold really where I'm from. So, where I'm living is kind of a wintry period. So I'm making me something to eat. And I was thinking about you guys. But listen, freedom of speech. And why is that important when it comes to moving to Africa? Well, it's important because if you come from America, then you're used to being able to kind of speak freely, say the things that you want to say about whatever you want to say. You can do that. You talk about, the president. Let me set this here, y'all, see if you can still see me. All right. Yeah, you can kind of talk about the president if you want. You can talk about what you think about their policies. You can talk about, anything you want to talk about. Now, you can do that openly. You can put it on YouTube. You can write it in the paper. You can do whatever you want, and no one's going to knock on your door. Kind of. Generally. And you have to put these disclaimers in there because the reality is it is general. So let's talk about it right now. If for you who think that you're totally free in America, you're not. And are you free in Africa? No. The brothers and sisters living in Africa, they're not free. They don't have the freedom to say whatever they want to say. Somebody might knock on their door. Somebody might come visit them. Now, it's really no different in America. You can say whatever you want to say. The difference is, in America, we can say whatever we want to say. We just can't say things to the point that we inspire people to take action. If we say things and have people take action, if that action is against the policies, the ideologies, or taking action is against something that the good old American people want to do, then yep, people gonna be knocking on your door. People gonna be knocking at your office door where you work. They're gonna take action against you. That's real. Now, in Africa, it's, from what I can see, I've been here 3 years, from what I can see, and almost 4. Yeah, they generally have the idea in the places where I've been that you don't, you just kind of talk between yourselves. You don't go out and speak publicly. Now, put it on a forum like this, you have to be careful. They understand that. Now the interesting thing is, I'm seeing that happen. There are a couple of YouTubers right now who they put out content and they speak openly about some of the things that are happening and about some of these presidents that are here. There's a brother, his name is Evans from Kenya. And y'all should check him out. I really appreciate what he's doing and what he's trying to do. I love and appreciate brothers who are stepping up and trying to put information out for the people. That's kind of like a soldier. You're a soldier in information. Y'all remember Professor Griff, Minister of Information, things of that nature. People who are trying to put out information to help the people get out from up under this oppression that these people have put us under. Well, the African brothers and sisters in the society I'm talking about that you're going to meet on a day-to-day basis, they're not just going to open up that conversation to you about problems or things like that. I haven't found that. And, you can open it up to them. As an example, if you were a person who opened that up to them, you could probably get them to talk to you about it. But again, like I said, they're not getting ready to go out and keep doing a bunch of protests. It doesn't seem that they're going to do that, because from the way that many of them have explained to me, not in all the countries, because I haven't been in all of them, but only in a couple, if you go out and you speak up, you might have some people, some authorities that want to deal with you, and they may deal with you harshly. And that's kind of the primary difference. In America, they won't deal with you harshly just because you're speaking out. They're going to deal with you harshly, period. I'm talking about the police. You all know, you don't have to do anything in America. You just be standing there minding your business. You be sitting in your house eating some ice cream, and somebody could come in there and do something to you. Police I'm talking about. Now, the reason I had to do this video about freedom of speech is because there's this misunderstanding that you have freedom of speech in America and you got all these freedoms. You don't. The lady just now, you guys look her up, she was a journalist. She just got let go, fired, because she was criticizing Israel or speaking from her news platform in a way that was critical of the Israeli government policies. Well, you see, they got rid of her. Now, before her, there was another lady. This is a white lady, a W lady. And they got rid of her too, because of what she said. She said something like that they were in an apartheid state. I don't remember her name, but if I can get it, I'll put the picture up. And she, Katie Halper, I think is her name. And she actually has good content too. She does good things. Very informative. But they got rid of her too. Prior to her, I think there was another person. I'm giving you these examples of these people that they're getting rid of. Oh, Mark Lamont Hill. Yeah, they got rid of him too, brother. And none of these people I'm telling you I support. That's not the point. The point I'm making to you is that they didn't have any freedom of speech. As soon as they got outside of what the United States wanted them to do and they felt that they had a great influence on the public, they fired them. Now, I'm pointing out to you similarities in Africa, in that whether you lose your job or it's generally known in the society that you don't be out talking about people, not the president, the government, the policies, because some people may take action against you. And that action could be you losing your job, which is financial death, or it could be physical death. And that happens in America too. Julian Assange, you guys know about him, the brother from, I think he's from one of them European countries, I don't remember which one. He might even be from America, I'm not sure. But anyway, he was the one that kind of was putting out the documents for WikiLeaks and all that. They put him in prison, and you know, right now there's a brother. His name is Scott Ritter, former weapons inspector. Back during the time when they were doing this whole thing with, you know, Iraq, they were about to bomb and kill and all those people. I believe it was Iraq. Yeah. My whole point is that the other day they stopped him from getting on a plane, took his passport because he's been speaking against critically about America's actions over with Russia and with you know, the Middle East, you know, and their support for Israel. He's been critical of that, and so they took action against him. And this is why I'm saying to you, if you expect to come to Africa and think that there's a difference, you're wrong. I've been here, and even talking to you, I'm careful. Like, I'm aware that the things, I can't say what I want to say. I put in some of these videos, I'll let you know to email me. You know, that way I can tell you exactly some of the things that are happening here. And this is not to speak against, when I say things that are happening, it's not anything speaking against the government. What I'm talking about is you don't have the freedom to express yourself publicly on a forum like this and think that you're not going to have any repercussions. And it's even worse for you if you plan on coming here and you're not from here. It's worse in the sense that, unfortunately, this hurts me tremendously. You, me, people that look like you and me, here on the continent, here, it's like, even in America, there were people who tell, I ain't no African. You know, people that look like you and me, they say that. I heard all that before I left. Then you have, when you get to the continent, you got people here on the continent, maybe, whether it's the majority or not, I'm not sure, but my experience, it's been, even if if there's a large quantity of them who will accept you saying that we're all brothers and sisters, there's a large amount of those people who don't feel that way. They just don't. And the sad thing is that, let me see something. Oh yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. I had to check something out. I went to the barber. I'm an old man now, so I get bushy eyebrows. Yeah, the people, many of them will tell you that they're not. You're not one of us. We're not. You're an American. And I told you, don't misunderstand. I don't even just saying that. I can't tell you what I really want to say. Like, for example, I would never tell you that I'm not an American, because then you got some people over there in America who may, take offense to that. And then they could affect your travel. This is real. This is not made up and make believe. This is real. It's happening. Because there is no freedom of speech as long as the people who are in control are in control. These people have taken over 95% of the world with their policies, their ideas, and they're starting to lose that control because people are standing up fighting against it. But it's not over yet. They haven't lost. They still have a great way to impact or create punishment for you if you say certain things that or do certain things, because they have to maintain this image. And they have to use examples, punish people in certain ways that frighten other people from speaking out. So here in Africa, no, you have to be careful here too of what you say. And the illusion is, I've talked to many of my good brothers and sisters here, and a lot of them tell you we're free. Just like Americans tell you we're free. But if you have, when you start to become aware of the real world that you live in, you recognize that you're not free. And unfortunately, because on all over the world, we and people that look like you and me, whether we dark, light, tall, short, it doesn't matter. We're the same people, but there's been an incredibly effective propaganda campaign to separate us so that we can't seem to believe in any way that we're the same. And some of that may have to do with us historically being here in the motherland thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, where there may be some normalcy in the behavior of human beings to have group activity with smaller groups and medium-sized groups and large groups in such a way that that group can interact with itself and provide for its protection and security and all of its needs. So there's no need to interact with maybe a neighboring group. And so then you develop group identity, a group language, a group culture that's separate from others. And through the development of years and years and years, there may not be a great need for cooperation. So, and you all are the same, you all look the same, you behave the same, generally you follow the same social patterns. So you can interact separately from each other without any danger. But evolution, history, time shows that there were a group of people who invaders, not just one group. It's just not the W's, but the Arabs. And when I say Arab, let me be clear. Those people from that region, and it could be Arabs, they could be any other ethnic group. So, but those people from that region, other than the Europeans who attacked the African people. So because we think that we're not the same, and that kind of some people they refuse to even recognize, okay, even if you believe you're not the same, it's to your benefit. It behooves you to say, well, even if we're not the same, we have enough in common, even if it's just based on one enemy trying to harm us, that it's to our best interest to come together and work together, and then we can sort out the other stuff later. But there are people who are resistant to that. And so I'm saying all that to say that when you talk about freedom of speech, even to come up and say to other brothers and sisters on the motherland, there are ones who say it, some of the political leaders, even they get pushback. But for me and people like me who come from other places, we have to be a little bit careful what we say. That's because people will knock on your door. I'm going to go into another video about this in greater detail, but that's why I don't really
in the beginning, I would show people where I was, tell people where I am, and all that, you know. But there were some of our good brothers and sisters from the motherland who used that opportunity, knowing where I was, what I was doing, to bring problems to me and situations to me, and you know that even using some of the things that I said that were clearly not harming anyone, not even really a critique, but more personal experience that had happened to me living in Africa, so that they would go to other people, government bodies, authorities, and then create, problems. Problems. And so it created a situation where life, just like, it becomes difficult. It becomes difficult because life is insecure, where now you don't know really which person is really with you, which person is really for you. And because such a big number of the community and population views you as an outsider, a foreigner, Nzungu is one of the words they use, then, it created a condition whereby you knew you had to be very careful what you say and what you did. Now, that kind of societal pressure, unspoken social norm, it's happening in America now much more overtly than it was in the recent past. Even in the recent past in America, you could say whatever you wanted. You could do whatever you want. Nobody's really gonna, ain't gonna lose your job necessarily. Nobody's going to really be coming at you, knocking at your door, trying to cause you any kind of legal issues. Those things were not prevalent, but they're on the rise now because of the position of America in the world. Now that there are so many different countries that are refusing to join and continue to join America and allow America to dictate, their political and social behavior. Now America's looking internally now to suppress those people, citizens, regular people who are speaking out. Before they let you speak, because they don't really care. It wasn't bother. They were in power and they had no threats, so it really wasn't a big deal. But now it's starting to create like a groundswell of people, internally and externally. And this is what you see being the freedom of speech being taken away in America. And in Africa, there are places, countries where everybody understands it. You kind of don't speak too much. And by the way, I have many opportunities to speak with the people in the Middle East that we call the Middle East. The Muslim communities or Arab communities, and many of them make it clear that you don't talk against the government publicly. You don't do that because you'll have some problems. And so what it really comes down to, even in Europe and all those places, now you can run your mouth, they'll let you do that. But if you do that and I'm talking about in Europe and America and those Western nations. If you do that, and your speaking and talking starts to create problems for them, they're gonna create problems for you. Okay, so yeah, I just thought I'd jump in to let you know that here in Africa, unfortunately, it's unfortunate. We as a people haven't gotten to a point to where we understand whether you're a black baby born on the wonderful motherland of the African continent, or you're a black baby born in America or Britain, France, Brazil, or Spain, or Jamaica, or the Caribbean islands, South America, wherever you are. Now we're black people. And, you know, we're going to have a very difficult time solving these problems until we understand that we are linked to one another, whether we like it or not, believe it or not. We are not getting out of this situation without having some understanding of the real purpose of unity, unifying. And unity don't mean we all think the same, we all do the same thing. No. These people that are talking about war right now, NATO, you think they all think the same? No, they don't all think the same. You think all the people in America think the same? No, they don't think the same. I'm talking about the W's. They don't all think the same. But I've told you before, over and over again, even the Black Caucus, all that nonsense. When those people get ready to bomb somebody, when they get ready to go to war, just like right now, you ain't gonna hear them people speaking out against Israel. They don't keep their mouth shut. They're gonna do what they're told to do. They got a saying, it's a go along to get along to go along. That's their policy. They understand that. So again, there's no free speech. So I can't tell you the things that I want to tell you about here, and what it's just frankly what it's like to live in Africa and be an African person and have the African people look at you as if you're not one of them. And but keep in mind, even here on the motherland, you could be in one country, it appears, from talking to them, this is what they tell me. If you're not from, you got this tribe, and President Museveni spoke about this. So I don't want you to think this is just something I'm making up. They understand that this exists. If you got tribal issues, and all that means is one group and another group. Okay, well, you know, you're not from this group, so we're gonna look out for this group. We ain't really concerned that much about that group. Now, some of that's kind of natural. You gotta take care of your family. You got another group of people living over here, their family, but they're not in your extended family. So you're gonna look out for your extended family before you reach out to them. Understandable. There's a certain part of that's natural. The issue is, we have to understand that some things have happened to us. That means we have to evolve now. You don't keep the same mindset if it's detrimental to you. You have to evolve and grow and develop. And we need to develop to a point where we understand, if we don't begin to unify our efforts towards a common purpose, towards a common foe, then they will just do what they've done in the past, pick us off one by one until they now have everything and control everything that we have. We still haven't completely gotten out of it. I'm going to do another video on that for all you people who want to say, oh, you always talking about the white man, this is the white man. And I just told you they control 95% of the world. They know it. Whose money do you use? What money they call is the world reserve currency. Now, I'm over here. I see, why is all the African money less than the European money? You think that's an accident? You think that's about you? Oh, that's just natural. It's economy. No, they're in control. Why? You over here, you got all these countries that speaking French. They're not Frenchmen. You get these people over here speaking Portuguese. They're not Portuguese. So what's wrong with you it's just ignorance. If you can't see that these people have taken this amount of control, you can't see that? Now you're ignoring the facts that are in front of you because you're afraid. You want to put your head down in the sand and you think it's going to go away. It's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. Understand that. It's not going to go away. You have to make it go away. And when you make it go away, they're not going to stop because you win a battle, you win a victory. No, they're looking at this overall thing from beginning to end. That's these people right now. You hear them talking about tactical nukes and nuclear war and can we? No, because they have in the back of their mind, well, look, if we can't run this, nobody will. They have that in their minds, and just so you understand, they say they go out to space, they go to the moon, they're trying to go to Mars. Why do you think they're doing it? They're doing that to say because if we ever evolve and get to that point, they want to be in control out there too. And to show you, it's not even just on a physical level. Don't you understand that for them, they're colonizing the afterlife? What do you think they're telling you when they tell you you're going to die and you're going to go to heaven and you're going to see Jesus? What do you think they're telling you? Jesus is in control, right? Son of God. That means him and his daddy, they're going to be running things. And if that's the case and they're pointing out to you that this person is a W, then what they're telling you is they don't know it for sure. They never died and came back. They're telling you, well, we don't know, so we're going to prepare just in case it is. If it is that way, we want everybody when they get there to know we're in charge there too. And this is what they're doing to you. This is real. These are very, very real things. So look, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got to make this food. I need to make it pleasant. Maybe get back to sleep. I don't know. But just wanted to let you know the freedom of speech, it's not here. It's not here. And it's not there in America. And it's really not any place in the world. The people who are speaking out all over the world, whether they're in China, Russia, wherever, the groups of people who are in charge, if what you're doing affects them negatively, then they're going to deal with you. And because the W's are the way that they are, some of that's even justifiable, because you get people who become influenced by the W's and think that they're really fighting for democracy and liberty and freedom and human rights. And then they got somebody telling them, yeah, this is what you got to be fighting for, yeah. And then they join those people and fight against their own people, thinking that they're doing something good. And they don't really realize they're being used by those people. Once those people get the society following them, then it creates instability because the leaders, some of them who are trying to do right, have their own, not the leaders, but the societies that they lead have their own values, their own ways of living, and they want to maintain that. They don't want it interfered with, which is normal. It's these W's don't have a monopoly on righteousness and political correctness. Everything that they say is the way it's supposed to be, universal. That's all a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of lies. I can sit here and say everything that I want, the way I think a family should be run is the way I think it should be run. Now, if I knock on your door and I tell you you got to do it the way I tell you to do it, you gonna like that? No, you're going to be like, man, who are you? Now, I got my own wife and kids and my family, and this is how we live. You don't come here telling us what to do. Now, if you want to peddle some suggestions, fine. Okay, we might listen to it, but we might not. If we don't, leave us alone and get away from us. By the way, just so you guys know, I'm here. At my gate, there were people knocking at the door. I was surprised. I went to the door. I said, who is this? Never saw them before. And they came and they brought me Watchtower, Awake, something. And then I was like, yeah, I'm busy. I didn't want them at my gate, but I'm busy. And they said, well, no, okay, well, no, we understand people are busy. You take this card. It said, JW, Jehovah's Witness. Here. So look at destruction of black civilization so you can understand what's happening. Chancellor Williams spent his life, dedicated his life to that. And I'm going to show you, good brother Grandmaster Jay brought that up too. And I know it, and there's a bunch of other people know it. Everybody knows it. So, all right. Just thought I'd jump in and let you know. Freedom of speech, it's not free. You got to fight for that. And it doesn't exist right now. Close, but no cookie. All right, y'all, take care. Uhuru, uhuru, uhuru.